Radio. I am Nicole Duki. Good morning. Health Minister Terence Dial Singh said he was dismayed by a report of a private pool party involving a large gathering which was in breach of the COVID-19 public health regulations. Video footage was shared on social media showing several people liming near a swimming pool. Speaking at the media briefing on Wednesday, Dial Singh said the regulations mostly speak to public spaces, but he will speak to Attorney General Faris Alwari on the matter. Dial Singh said he also had a conversation with Police Commissioner Gary Griffith and National Security Minister Stuart Young on the matter. According to reports, the gathering involved people at a housing development near Cocorite and was over the 5-person limit prescribed by the Ministry of Health. Meanwhile, Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith shared his 2 cents on the matter. Speaking at his weekly press conference yesterday, Griffith said there's some clarity that needs to be sought out on what defines a private space and a public space. Bayside Towers, while it is a private, gated housing community, can allow visitors to enjoy its facilities like the pool area. This can compromise its label as being a private property. Commissioner Griffith said there are grey areas to the rules. The commissioner said regardless of the issue, he has no problem holding the community to account for their actions once a law was indeed broken. Responding to whether partygoers in this incident were given special treatment since they were simply let off with a warning, Griffith said it is not the first time he or his officers has done that. In some other news, more than 20 families have been affected by inclement weather in the Caroni East area after their roofs were blown off. Opposition MP Dr. Richard Secharan noted that the homes of a few of his constituents were destroyed during heavy rainfall and strong winds on Tuesday afternoon. The affected infrastructures are located at St. Helena, Cali Village, Madras Road, Ragunanan Road, and at Hinkin Street in Cunupia. These are areas that are worst hit during the thunderstorm and gusty winds. Dr. Secharan said he was pleased that assistance was received in the form of tarpaulin, mattresses, galvanized, lumber, and food supplies in order that the residents could continue to occupy their respective homes. He added that help is being sought to repair the damage, which included fallen trees. Furthermore, the Caroni East MP took the opportunity to plead for assistance going forward. In news over in Tobago, Deputy Chief Secretary and Secretary of Finance and the Economy in the Tobago House of Assembly, Joel Jack, is expecting more than the barest minimum to Tobago when the national budget is presented in October. On Monday, a statement from Finance Minister Colm Imbert said the 2020-21 national budget will be presented in the House of Representatives on Monday, October 5th. In 2019, the THA requested $4.72 billion, but received only $2.283 billion, approximately 4.4% of the $53 billion in the 2019-2020 budget. Earlier in June, the Assembly requested a total of $4.71 billion from the central government for its fiscal 2020-2021 budget. Jack said the fiscal package was created against the backdrop of the global economic health crisis brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic, which he said has significant implications for the island of Tobago. You are listening to the 6 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. It's time now to take a look at regional and international developments. We start with news from the region. Grenada is making preparations for its 2021 budget. The budget will be guided by the theme towards Vision 2035, Recovery, Transformation and Resilience. Minister of Finance and Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has assured the nation's young people that their recommendations will be given priority during these unique and challenging times. Mitchell recently addressed more than 200 young people at the 2021 Youth Budget Consultation. He said the input from young people will play both a direct and indirect role in the formulation of the budget, as any decision made in this period will have an enormous impact on their lives. Internationally, a Canadian flight was cancelled and police were called because a child was not wearing a mask. According to reports, WestJet wanted a 19-month-old to wear a mask, but the baby girl would not stop crying. The airline said the issue was not with the infant, who was below the age required to wear a mask, but with the 3-year-old's sister. Tuesday's morning flight from Calgary to Toronto was stopped and all passengers were ordered to disembark. The child's father said his oldest daughter, who is 3, was eating a snack before takeoff when the flight attendants approached them asking that both their children wear a mask. He said he and his wife were masked. In news of the weather for the period today until tonight, Trinidad will experience a sunny morning with showers developing by early afternoon. There is a medium to high chance of heavy afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Improvement in conditions is expected by evening to give a most settled night. Gusty winds and street or flash flooding are likely in areas of heavy showers or thunderstorms. Tobago and the remainder of the Lesser Antilles, predominantly sunny conditions will be interrupted by a few brief light to moderate showers and a generally fair night. Seas are moderate with waves up to 2 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. The current temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. And that brings us to the end of the 6 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Stay tuned for another newscast at 7 a.m. I am Nicole Dookie. Good morning.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you with the very kind compliments of Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday, and Darban Trading Company Limited. A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. For all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Darpan Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited for all your grocery items, wholesale and retail. At Darpan, you can also transfer money, pay your bills, and also cash your social welfare checks. Darpan Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited, located at number 28 Foster Road, Sangre Grande. They also specialize in real estate, and they also have a special on land at Arena Road, Freeport, for just $165,000 per plot. For further information, call Darban Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited at 267-3063 or 223-0630. Darban Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited of number 28 Foster Road, Sangre Grande.
For quality items, Visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
Can't go anywhere to enjoy yourself? Well, join us on 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio, as we got your Saturdays covered. The party starts from 8 a.m. Yes, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. We got Sharon Baruch alongside DJ Vishal. 12 to 3 p.m. Captain Kendall is in full flight and will take you straight into 3 to 6 as DJ Anil will put you into the mix. Then from 6 to 9, the man DJ Sean, half man, half amazing, takes the spotlight from 6 to 9. And from 9 to 1, the man Corky D steps into the building and he will mix it up for you into the morning. Tune in, log on 975radio.com as we put you in the party mood with all of our DJs and announcers. Tell your friends, tell your family, 975radio.com.
To you, Newsday Classifieds. Take Value Optical to be your partner.
I do.
I do.
I now pronounce free eye test from Value Optical for Newsday Classified customers. Call the Newsday Classified reps for more information. You may now kiss the bride.
And a very good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and thank you very much for choosing us here at 97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio as your medium of choice. I am Kenrick Juggernaut, and yes, I'll be taking you until the hour of 9 this morning as we look at some of the issues of the day, the challenges facing us here in Trinidad and Tobago, discuss with you the burning matters. You're with the morning program, the most interactive morning program on the airwaves of Trinidad and Tobago. And let me remind you too that we are broadcasting to you live from Couva in central Trinidad, the Exchange Lots to be exact. Good morning to all of our neighbors here at Exchange Lots, to the members of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, to the members of the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Services, to all those workers attached to the WASA installation here, right here in Couva, to all the market vendors, the taxi drivers, the maxi taxi drivers. Good morning to each and every one of you, and thank you very much for being part of the 975 FM Hot Like Pepper family. Good morning also to our international audience streaming live with us. Good morning and welcome to today's edition of the morning program. Today it's a Thursday, September 10th, 2020. The time in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago is just about 15 minutes here past the hour of 6 o'clock, and that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of radio on 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Well, I can tell you that the sun is up this morning. It's very bright here in central Trinidad, and let's hope that the weather pattern remains the same. Why? Because today it's the finals of the Caribbean Premier League tournament, which will be played down at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. That game is carded to bowl off from just around 10 o'clock this morning. And yes, the fixture will feature Trinbago Night Riders as they come up against the St. Lucia Zooks. It should be a very interesting final, folks. So let's hope that the weather holds and we can have a full complement of overs. But as of now, let me keep you abreast as to what are some of the major stories as published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Remember, you can go outside there and purchase a copy of this publication. It is priced at only $3. And it's available at all leading newsstands throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Let me say a very special good morning to my newspaper vendor this morning. Good morning to Mr. Gilbert. Thank you very much for all of the support and all of the encouragement. Good morning, people. Good morning. Well, on today's cover of the edition of Newsday, a graphic photograph indeed showing police officers of the Western Division as they respond to an incident in that area in Glencoe, as it led to the arrest of 3 suspects on Wednesday afternoon. Witnesses scared, DNA evidence a challenge, gang killings stop police. That story on page 3, and you can catch the details there. The story said gang-related murders remain a major challenge for the police to solve, as witnesses are either too scared to come forward, intimidated to protect offenders. This, according to Police Commissioner Gary Griffith. These killings account for the largest category of cases annually. So you can catch the details on page 3. Othello, suicide prevention requires everyone's input. As World Suicide Prevention Day is observed today, Director of the Mental Health Unit at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Hazel Othello, is reminding people that suicide prevention requires a whole of a government, whole of society approach. She said the Health Ministry recognizes the urgency of suicide prevention and is therefore pleased to join the world in this important observance. Ministry of Health, let ill workers stay home. Epidemiologist Dr. Avery Hines has called on employers to have a work environment where sick workers do not feel they must be at the workplace. He was speaking at yesterday's Health Ministry's COVID-19 media conference. Minister Young, that's the Minister of National Security, 240 nationals to return this weekend. The story said more than 200 nationals are scheduled to return to Trinidad this weekend. This according to the Minister of National Security. He said, quote, "We are currently working on 2 flights this weekend where we expect to repatriate approximately 240 nationals. This is in addition to nationals who have been making their own way back to Trinidad after having been granted exemption." Now, I don't know how many of you would have looked on at that conference yesterday hosted by the Ministry of Health. But just in case it would have escaped you, let me keep you abreast as to the tally, as to the stats as issued by the health operators. A total of 197 more people were reported to have tested positive for COVID-19 by the Ministry of Health on Wednesday. Now, that's a record. Thus far, 197 cases yesterday. The results were from samples collected between August 29th and September 8th. There are now 1,800 active cases. In updates on Wednesday, the ministry noted that 43 of those cases referred to people housed at the Police Training Academy. The ministry said those people were not in circulation with the national community and all established protocols were implemented for each of the cases. The number of samples that have tested positive out of a total of 25,995 tests done now stands at 2,588. Let me repeat that figure, 2,588. I say that to you and I emphasize that figure because there are a number of people who are still flouting the guidelines as issued by the Ministry of Health. The wearing of the non-wearing of mask in public, you can be fined. And to this end, I want to applaud the Ministry of Health yesterday, because there's a promo being run on national television where the ministry is actually advising you, demonstrating to you how to use a mask and what sort of mask to be used. So kudos and congratulations must be extended to the Ministry of Health. A number of people outside are still wearing the mask hanging from the ears, under the chin, on the forehead. People, only just mama guy know yourself. And if you see a police officer while you have the mask in different places on your head and you try to adjust it, well, according to the Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, you can still be ticketed. So wear it properly. If not, as I said, you're just mama guying yourself. We need to flatten the curve, and we need to be responsible. The number of cases thus far, 2,588. So let's move on. So go outside here and purchase a copy of today's publication, the Newsday newspaper, and you can catch all of the details there. Police awaits DPP's advice on Venezuelan woman's murder. That story is on page 7. Man ordered to move out after assaulting woman. That story is on page 7 also too. Government, BPTT agreed to 92 license extensions. So that's some good news there. Laptop repairs increase across Trinidad and Tobago. Well, once there's demand for any sort of a product or service, it will increase. Ministry of Health, $23.9 million to be spent on test kits. Now, I would have been reminding you, the listening audience, that the cost to fight COVID-19, the cost it is having on taxpayers, and this is just one of the sum, $23.9 million to be spent on test kits. That's according to the Ministry of Health. And yes, the media fraternity is in mourning today. This as a result of a former Express Editor-in-Chief, Owen Batiste. Owen Batiste would have passed away at the West Shore Medical Private Hospital on Tuesday following complications with diabetes. He was 87 years old. So us here at 975 Hot Like Pepper would like to extend our condolences to the family and friends of the late Owen Batiste. No doubt he was a legend and he was an icon in the media fraternity. Very early in my introduction to media, I would have met him way back. So I would have learned a lot from Owen Batiste. So to his family and friends, our condolences here on behalf of the management and staff of 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith, Trinidad and Tobago Police Service virtually crippled by COVID-19. Now, I would have mentioned this to you sometime last week. With the increase in cases and daily spike, and with this new measure I'm talking about here is the mandatory wearing of mask, you would find that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, they are stretched to the limit. So rather than the police service now engaging quote-unquote real crime, they have to ensure that you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, observe social distancing, ensure that you wear your mask properly. But as a people, if we behave responsibly, if we behave as adults, well, then there's no need for a police officer to tell you to behave in a particular way, if you understand my drift. So go outside there, people. Purchase your copy of this publication, the Newsday newspaper. It's available at all leading newsstands throughout the country. Well, into some sporting news, Darren Sammy, the captain of the St. Lucia Zouks, well, he's remaining very confident that he can whip the Trinbago Knight Riders this morning when the both teams meet in that grand final of the Caribbean Premier League. As I said before, it augurs well for a very interesting final. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
A lovely day for cricket.
Well, let's hope it stays that way, my friend.
Yeah, man. We're looking forward to a good finals.
you know.
Well, after the disappointment of the two semi-finals, one will hope that we have a very close game indeed, yes?
Yeah, you know, so we're looking forward to that. Now, Duke, the minister said 4,000 workers. We knew this long time ago in Bethlehem, right? That Wassa have over staff by 4,000 workers. And he said that the PNM bring them on board. They didn't come just so. You don't want them to lose their work. So what the best thing to do is to raise water rates.
Now, how ridiculous is that? So you want to increase water rates, not to provide a greater service to the people of Trinidad and Tobago,
but to maintain the people working.
To maintain some lazy, and I say some, lazy, hardback man and woman.
True.
Yeah. To put money in their pocket for doing what? Huh?
Nothing.
Duke needs to get his head examined.
And I know all of these companies, they have free this and free that for the workers, eh? So let me be realistic. I sure some of them are getting free water too.
No, but what's his rationale? Is it that his interest is with maintaining the workforce at Wassa?
That is it.
Or ensuring that the people of Trinidad and Tobago get the relevant service for which they are paying for?
His interest is to maintain the workers at Wassa so that the union could get money.
No. And apart from that, if his call is to increase rates and the Regulators Industries Commission do give that necessary blessings, I don't have a problem in paying more for water, you know.
Once I get any water.
But more than that too, ensure that you bill me for what I use.
Yeah, exactly.
Ensure that you outfit me and others and all households with a metering system.
And that is where Lee Hunt was attempting to go.
This is the area of concern which Watson Duke should be engaging with.
Yeah.
Not calling for a rate increase. Some of these people need a gold bull pistol across the back, you know.
Now I know in some areas people getting water free sheet. They're not even paying water rates. But in the dry season, they demand the most water.
What is Duke's response to all those people outside there who have illegal connections being facilitated by operators of Wassa? What is he doing about that? Is he concerned about that?
No, he's just concerned about saving the people jobs to do nothing.
And he admitted 4,000, overstaffed by 4,000 and all.
Yeah.
So some of these people need to get real. They need to get real.
And so let's see what will happen with that, how far that will go. Well, the COVID thing, almost 201 days by.
Well, and according to Gary Griffith, this fight against the spread of COVID-19 is taking a toll on police officers.
On police officers, because they themselves are getting sick.
Yeah, and they themselves now have to extend their hands, so to speak.
Exactly.
They cannot fight, quote unquote, the real crime. They have to ensure that some people in Trinidad, some nationals behave in a particular way.
179 charged today. Well, that is a little money for the container. You understand? But it shows the level of indiscipline in our country.
And as I said this morning when I opened the program, I said if you're wearing a mask, please wear it properly. Because if you don't, you're just mamagaing yourself.
You know, some people just wear things for style. Like you buy our glasses today. You buy the wrong glasses because you buy it for style. You didn't buy it for the purpose. So it's the same thing like the mask. You buy it for style. And you have it for style.
But there's another interesting story, the Trinidad and Tobago celebrate with the rest of the world today or recognize Suicide Prevention Day. And are you aware that Trinidad and Tobago, my friend, is very high up in the ladder? I think we have a rank about number 38 or 39, in terms of suicide,
Yes. But we have to take stock of the situation. What causes suicide? We have to go to the root of some of these problems. We're just skimming the surface with a lot of these issues. We don't want to face it because it may affect our family, our friends, our neighborhood. But we have to find out the root causes.
Now, I listened to Gary Griffith yesterday, and he was talking about this matter or this episode which transpired in Bay Shore.
Right.
Now, my understanding is that if you have any private party at home or gathering, you cannot accommodate or you cannot have more than 5 people. That's my understanding of it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can be, let's say, warned by the police commissioner that if you engage in such, you can be prosecuted. Now here it is. He's actually saying, this event took place on a private property, a gated private property, and the people would have walked away with just a tap on the wrist. I am saying, despite that, the proprietor, proprietor should be charged.
The promoter,
or should be warned.
Yeah, you understand?
For engaging in such, or for encouraging such.
Whoever planned it, they are the initial devils. So they should be charged. Don't care, some people say that community, and you don't know who, you got to charge everybody. Well, I'm sorry, but whoever were the instigators of it, they should receive the first charge, and the people who were there, they should receive the second charge. Because you have about 40, according to the report, you have about 40 people, and you're not sure whether half of them is nationals, half is migrants, whoever, but everybody should feel the brunt of the law, should feel because I mean here we are trying to say no more gathering, whether public or private, no more than 5.
All right, but Bawani, let's move on to another issue here, and it's very contentious indeed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot of gray matter concerning this. Is it true that the Minister of Health would have announced the cessation of a non-communicable disease and medication program, that is the CDAP program?
I don't want to put I don't want to say yes and no. I can't recall.
Now, in essence, what he's saying, that in the near future, the CDAP program could be scrapped.
Well,
how that will impact on those people who depend on CDAP medication, especially the elderly in our society?
If it has to be scrapped, no, I know people. I hear people complain about the quality of the CDAP medicine.
No, we would have gone through that already. The quality of the CDAP medication is a generic drug.
Yeah.
It's a generic drug. If you understand the word generic.
For donkey years, for 20, 30 years, we talk about health insurance in national health insurance in this country, and we did nothing about it. Yes, we have the NIB, but that is a difference to paying national health insurance, which would have helped to cover some of the costs when you're getting old. But none of it. Well, a lot of programs that we put in place, even the road tax that was brought into being in the 80s, how has that benefited road improvement in our country?
Well, it's something which I would have spoken about, and I even mentioned it yesterday, concerning the road tax. A 5% road tax, and if you look at some of our roads in the country, well, it's some of these roads most deplorable indeed. Now, I just want to share this with you, and if any one of you outside there listening to me this morning have more information, well, then I will welcome such. It's a letter published in the Newsday today, and I just want to read it for you here this morning because this is a very serious matter. Yeah? The recent announcement by Minister of Health Terrence Dayal Singh that there may be cessation of the non-communicable disease medication program can only spell disaster. Now, I'm not aware of any announcement being made by the minister to this effect, hence why I'm reading out this letter this morning. But as I said, if any one of you outside there have more information, you can share it with me. The letter goes on to say, I believe the minister is aware that diseases such as diabetes and high blood pressure cannot be cured and can only be controlled. Hence, patients with these issues have to live the rest of their lives just managing them with the hope that there will be no future complications. And that brings me to the point that the introduction of the CDAP program was introduced so as to ensure that patients do indeed receive their medication. And as a result of this, they will treat themselves with the medication and so prevent more serious maladies such as strokes and heart attacks. This in the long run will save the Ministry of Health and by extension the government huge sums of money to have these patients treated for more serious issues at our already overburdened health institutions. So it would be good advice to the minister to leave the program alone, since prevention is certainly better than cure. I just thought I'd read that out to you here this morning. I'll try to get some more information during the course of the day on this matter. As I said, it's a very serious matter indeed, because stopping, scrapping, or adjusting the CDAP program will certainly have an impact on the elderly in this country, especially those people who suffer with lifestyle diseases. As we head up to the hour of 7 o'clock, just about 24 minutes here to the hour of 7. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Henrik.
Good morning. Chris, you're an elderly in society, and have you heard anything about this? Have you read anything of such?
Why I keep telling you I'm an elderly person?
But you are, yes?
Advertising that.
All right, go ahead. What's on your mind?
As far as I'm concerned, the CDAP program is supposed to keep you from the hospital.
Yes.
If you're controlled, it costs less at the end of the day. Because if you're not controlled, you're going to end up in a ward. You got to get doctor and lawyer and bed and medicine and everything else. So somebody ought to think that over.
No, but I'm saying... I'm saying to you, let's stay there for a little while. I'm saying this to you this morning. I have not heard anything about the scrapping or any adjustment to the CDAP program. And if a decision is made, well, then there will be serious repercussions.
If that's happening, we got to have a big protest and change the government or something. Now, what I called to talk about, do people know that there's no parallel healthcare system? Where is the Minister of Health? With his big parallel health care. Ambulance, call a special number for COVID. Mr. Minister, I want to hear you. Because what is happening, the 811 number has to pick up everybody, COVID and all. So you don't know what is going on in this country right now. And he went silent. Suddenly went silent. You see, I said it before on the station. It was an election campaign. COVID was an election campaign with a set of lies. Lies to the population. As the election done, the truth starts coming out. And what you're going to see happen in this country here, people are going to hold their head and ball, you know. One prime minister who just want to make it show that he win an election and do anything with it. Do anything at the expense of the lives of the people, the health of the nation. And we're going to see that now. Now, I'm waiting for a friend who is calling and criticized what I say, you know. I want to hear him this morning. I want to hear him talk some facts and some of the lies, truth, half-truths and innuendos. It's time people start facing out the facts in this country. Call 811 and you see what's happening. These people have to go and pick up COVID patients. Where is this parallel healthcare system? Where is it? Was it ever in existence? Thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much. Well, according to the Minister of Health, Terence Dial Singh, there is a parallel health system with all of these step-down facilities, and he would have put forward the argument that these people who are COVID-19 patients cannot be accommodated and will not be accommodated in the regular health system or in the quote-unquote public hospitals as we speak. But I understand that the system is quite overwhelming now. Hence the reason why I said yesterday that nationals of this country, some of them are being asked to self-quarantine because it's becoming a burden and a cost to the state. Anyway, we're heading up to the hour of 7 o'clock. It's time for some commercials here this morning, and when we come back, we'll continue with our discussion. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us. A bit later on in the program, I'll be trying to have a conversation with the president of the Tavakit Gasparillo Chamber of Commerce, one Mr. Anil Ramjit. That and much more happening on 975. Stay with us here. Let's go to some commercials.
Darpan Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited for all your grocery items, wholesale and retail. At Darpan, you can also transfer money, pay your bills, and also cash your social welfare checks. Darpan Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited, located at number 28 Foster Road, Sangre Grande. They also specialize in real estate, and they also have a special on land at Arena Road, Freeport, for just $165,000 per plot. For further information, call Darban Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited at 267-3063 or 223-0630. Darban Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited, of number 28 Foster Road, Sangre Grande.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus, my name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
Praise him, praise him.
Join me every Sunday for Love Vibrations from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. featuring all your favorite love songs from every decade and the most powerful quotes ever written. You can send your shout-outs. WhatsApp 378-4975, or you can simply call 636-7547 or 227-5739, or go online to www.975radio.com. It's hosted by yours truly, DJ Sean, on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
I found a love for me.
To you, Newsday Classifieds. Take Value Optical to be your partner.
I do.
I now pronounce free eye test from Value Optical for Newsday Classified customers. Call the Newsday Classified reps for more information. You may now kiss the bride.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liquor, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Do you wake up every morning wondering what the stars hold for you, but do not have the time to check the internet or newspaper? Then tune in to U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio or log on to YouTube at RCLU 97.5 or Facebook for your daily horoscope with Umaratan Singh just after the 6 a.m. news. Mondays to Fridays, let the stars be your guide. Remember, be positive, love yourself, and serve your purpose in life.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Well, this morning, too, we're discussing budget 2020-2021. And according to former Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Mario Ono Brown, well, it will be quite a challenge indeed for Finance Minister Colin Imbert to balance the budget this year. One is hoping that maybe the social safety net, that there will be no interference or no adjustments there. And also there's a view being shared, as I told you yesterday, that a number of people would have expressed their views on this. Some are saying that we can expect more and more taxation. And yes, the property tax will be on the front burner. Now let's deal with this matter concerning WASA and Watson Duke, who is president of the Public Services Association. Now Watson Duke is saying one of the ways to meet the challenges facing WASA is for an increase in water rate. Now, this increase in water rate is not to provide greater service to you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, you know. My apologies, yeah. Not to provide a better service for you, but to ensure that employees of WASA continue to receive their salary. And despite reports emanating and circulating that WASA is overstaffed by 4,000, Duke is saying that no worker will be touched and none will be sent home. So here it is. He's now making a case for water rates to be increased in this country. And let me emphasize, not so that you will get a better service, but to ensure that these workers receive their salaries on time, to fatten their pockets. I am saying to you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, this should be resisted. This should be resisted. One of the ways WASA can increase their revenue is by ensuring that all those people, and I'm talking here about commercial entities, big business in this country, who owe WASA thousands and thousands of dollars. WASA should embark on a campaign to ensure that this grouping of people pay what is due to them. Let's take this caller. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ken. How are you?
Good morning to you.
Yeah, your utterance about what this guy, Watson Duke, is suggesting is absolutely...
Hello? Are you with me, caller? Hello? Hello? I'm sorry, my friend, but we have a very bad connection. You need to call me back at 367-547 227-5739. Yeah. So I am suggesting this morning that WASA look at hauling in all those people, bring them into the loop, especially corporate Trinidad and Tobago, who owe in WASA thousands and thousands of dollars. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Morning, Kenneth.
Good morning to you.
Well, we might see some good cricketers.
Well, yes, the weather is fine thus far. Let's hope it stays that way.
Well, Watson Duke, and that is the kind of people fight election and want to come into government, right? You could imagine that, right?
I wonder if Duke would have mentioned such on the campaign when he contested the 2020 general election. For an increase in voter rate.
That is why I try to tell you right now. The man could have said on this platform in Tobago when he was contesting the seat and saying that people have to pay more water rate because we have to save them working and water. Let me tell Rowley something, or the Prime Minister of Tobago. Let me tell you something. You could close down the refinery. You could get water going if you want to get it going. You just do what you have to do in water, and Duke and this next one, SWWTU, or you name again, they could open your mouth how much you want. You don't take them on again. You have to run this country. People vote for you to run this country. You don't vote for Duke, and you don't vote for SWWTU. SWWTU fella telling you that here commented to talk nothing because you're not giving him what he wants. And all he's talking about is money that he wants, and no suggestion how to run the port. And that port should be privatized because a lot of things coming in that port that people should not have to be selling things there. And the same thing with you and the public servant them. I want the public servants them to listen to you. And if I wrongly listen to you, I'm going straight to the IMF and let them tell me how much to cut. They can't tell me nothing because I have to get money to run the country. Don't give them 1.8 billion. Is that how you cut them in half? And don't give them it, let them work for their money. Go to every household in this country and find out how they get a connection. Who gives them connection? And then you will see where the money going to. Big business said only thousands of dollars when they want to collect it. But when they expect to increase for the low class of people, how much we got to pay $500 every 3 months or how much? When we pay $300 or something and we not getting full blood water. Then we come on. Just for us have to go somewhere.
Well, I hear you, yeah. Duke needs to get real here. And people like Duke and others describe themselves as patriots, looking at what is the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago. But you're not looking at, and this is my opinion on who vex loss, you are not looking at what is the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago or WASA. You're looking at what is in the best interest of yourself and your membership. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
You know, Ken, that is exactly what I was going to say. This has been very, very selfish. He's looking at his membership and so forth, right? And his, political aspiration and so forth. And that is, we're in a crisis situation right now in this pandemic. We cannot afford to waste money. Now, this is general. Almost everybody knows WASA is overstaffed.
Well,
I
let's stop at the overstaffed thing. Here it is. Okay, fine. WASA is overstaffed, and many would have viewed WASA as a dumping ground for party hacks. But that was when the country had money.
Exactly.
That was a different scenario altogether.
We are struggling right now with an immense pandemic that actually supersedes every other affair right now in this country, and we have to conserve our finite resources. And I think if we have any organization which is overstaffed, these people have to be sent home, or everybody in that organization has to agree to a wage cut. If you want to keep the workers, everybody in that organization certainly has to agree to a wage cut. And I know people in Trinidad would not agree to that.
And look how puerile Duke's argument is. Here it is. WASA need to be restructured. A ministerial committee has been set up by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to report back to him in the month of November. That report will certainly signal that WASA is overstaffed and something needs to be done. Duke's argument is not, no, don't send home anyone, don't cut staff, raise water rates so that you can sustain this additional staff. That's his argument. Not looking at the poor man outside there who will now have to dig deeper into his pocket to pay an increase in water rate, knowing fully well that we are in this guava season.
Not only that, Ken, we might have to pay also property tax and all those things. Where we get money from? This man has to be absolutely, he has to be a lunatic or something. So you have to think about people in this kind of present scenario. We are in an immense dilemma, right, to put it mildly, and every attempt has to be made to manage all what we have.
Well, thank you very much, friend, for your contribution here with me this morning. And that's my opinion, you know. That's my opinion. That's my argument here this morning. You have to look at what is the bigger picture. What is in the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago, not what's in the interest of you. And Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is right. Politics and politicians, it's about serving the interests of the people, not your own interest. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Good morning. I was wondering, one of the 2 or 3 customers ago wanted to go to the IMF, if I'm correct. What do you want to go to the IMF for?
Well, I don't know. I think the caller just mentioned something with the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, that if the situation continues like this, and Dr. Rowley would have alluded to such, and we do not have liquidity, so to speak, then we may have to look at other ways, at other institutions to bail us out. One of those institutions, of course, will be the International Monetary Fund. Now, I just want to share this with you here this morning, but I have this caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
97.5. A while ago, a customer called. Who he wanted to go to IMF? He wanted to report IMF, or he wanted the country to go to IMF?
Well, I'm not too sure. I think he's making a point that if we continue like this, and we have to, let's say, pay workers, and the economy is as such, we may have to go to the IMF. That is what he's saying. Not that he wants the country to go to the IMF, you know. He's saying that we may have to go to the IMF if the situation prevails. Anyway, 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. We're climbing up to the hour of our 7 o'clock, and just about 5 minutes here to the hour of our 7. And that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Radio 975. But I don't know how many of you people outside there have been following what is happening in Guyana. There are a number of protests all over Guyana, even this morning. And yesterday, President Dr. Irfan Ali would have addressed the nation. This as a result of an increase in the level of a protest action in certain parts of Guyana. Let me share this with you this morning. Guyanese President Dr. Irfan Ali yesterday addressed the nation in the face of what he described as another barbaric incident. In his address, President Ali said, "The criminals who snuffed the lives out of Joel and Isaiah were barbaric in nature. There is no other way to describe it. The criminals who snuffed the life out of Harish Singh, 17 years old, are equally barbaric. It is in the interest of all Guyanese, of all of Guyana, that these criminals are brought to justice swiftly. That's from Dr. Irfan Ali, the president of Guyana. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, sir.
You know, and I'll listen to you there when you mention a lot of government in both sides. They use WASA as the banking and election time to put the people inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my question is, right, and I do not support what they do in an increase in WASA because rightfully people is not getting more than the paying up the last time that it due, but it reach, right? And it's unfair for customers, right? But why you didn't mention this before election? Why come after the election on a TV station and then mention this? So these what I say, politicians, this play with people in this country. Why you didn't say this before? And we need to be fair, and we need to understand that they use the people in this country. And I'm going to tell you something. Besides WASA, I want to see what WASA going to do because I know WASA workers is not like the workers. Thanks.
Okay, friend. Well, thank you very much for your contribution here with me this morning. As I said to you, I don't think that the people of Trinidad and Tobago, or customers of WASA, would, let's say, show resistance to a rate increase. If you are outfitted with a metering system. But according to the former Minister of Public Utilities, Robert Lehunt, this is quite a challenge for WASA. It would cost WASA millions and millions of dollars to outfit each household with a water meter. So in the absence of that, what they do, they give you an arbitrary bill, even though you are not receiving any service at all or limited service. To me, that is totally wrong. Bill me for what I use. And to say that it will cost you thousands of dollars or billions of dollars rather to introduce a metering system, that's not my concern. That's my concern. I am a consumer. Bill me for what I use. And in that way, the citizens of this country would have more control as to how they use the supply or this commodity. Let's take this call on the line. Good morning and welcome to 975. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Kenrick.
And good morning to you, Mr.
Trinidad and Tobago. Morning, Miss Nicole Duki and all your staff. Mr. Kenrick, right now, WASA is too little too late. That WASA should have been tackled since maybe 2010 or before.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it would have a gradual. Because at the end of the day, in those days, they could have afforded the meter. The meter system, well, I understand, the meter must be, I don't have the cost of meter, I think about 2,000, I don't have the exact cost, right? But in those days, they could have arranged in a way where they could have metered everybody. Because if you had the meter, remember, people just really abuse water in Trinidad. Sometimes man have a car, you washing a car. I mean, all about it, mind the bathing. But with the meter now, you'll be conservative because you know you're paying for what you use. And when you don't have water, you wouldn't get to. But at the end of the day, going back there making sense right now. Right now, we have to decide where we're going from. Not where we're going, where we have to go because remember, money involved and money is scarce right now.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, we have all hands that get on deck and decide where we're going in the WASA because, I mean, it's an essential commodity and we strap the organization strap cash.
All right, friend. Well, thank you very much. We need to head up to the 7 o'clock newscast. And when we come back, we'll be into the second hour of today's edition of the morning program, You Talk 975. Note that at around 7:30, I'll be presenting to you a COVID feature, courtesy Barlow Engineering and Construction Services Limited. Stay with us here, 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you. New 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, multicultural radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour. It comes to you with the very kind compliments of Super Quality Supermarket. Sheikh Lisha Limited, the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday, and Darpan Trading Company Limited.
This is the 7 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Nicole Dookie. Good morning. Work on one of the two vessels being built for the local sea bridge will be completed later this year. The Boko Reef is the second of two catamarans being built in Australia. The Ministry of Works and Transport said the vessel is 100 meters long with 4 engines on board. It posted this information on its Facebook page yesterday. The ministry added that each engine can fill up an Olympic swimming pool in 1 second. This vessel is being built by Australian shipbuilders Incat. While the post outlined the completion date, there was no word on its delivery date. The ministry, however, said it was coming soon. Health Minister Terence Dial Singh has indicated that he will speak to Attorney General Faris Alwari about a recent party at Bayside Towers. According to reports, more than 5 persons were presented without mask and only received a warning from police officers who responded to calls from residents. When asked about the incident and why disciplinary action was not taken, Mr. Dial Singh said the public health ordinance regulations speak to public places.
I had a conversation with both the Commissioner of Police and the Minister of National Security this morning on that same issue, and I think the regulations more or less speak to public spaces. I have been imploring and sometimes literally begging people not to host these type of events in your private properties. I will have to talk to the Attorney General to see if it is possible, because these are serious constitutional areas we are going into now. People have a right to privacy, but we don't need a constitutional argument to tell people that how you conduct yourselves in your private premises will capsize the whole thing. Do we need to go that route?
Mr. Dial Singh warned that while young people want to maintain their social lives, they need to be responsible given the ongoing pandemic, which he referred to as our World War II.
I understand that young people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s want to lead an active social life. But this is our World War II, and it is going to call for all of us to be responsible. Like how I was disturbed when I went to lunch on Monday and saw a man dining in full view of everyone. So you passed the regulation, no in-store dining, but it is being flouted. Now we have to go into people's private homes and tell you how you have to behave. Shouldn't have to be.
Meanwhile, head of the legal unit at the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, Christian Chandler, echoed the sentiment regarding the regulations.
We must distinguish between the public and the private space, because the law caters for the public space. When you look at Section 3, when you look at Section 4, that talks about being about your water and that sort of thing. Because in that article, right, people ask the question and they put it out there that, look, is there a law for people of a certain race or a certain class? And that is not so. Reports are still coming in. The majority of the people there, that we understand it, and that were gathered there, were a mixture of residents and persons invited. As well as, in that article, they would have spoken about some time before when some persons were bathing in the actual sea outside of the Bayside Towers. Now, that in itself is captured by the public regulations.
Also commenting on the Bayside incident was Police Commissioner Gary Griffith, who assured it is not a case of discrimination.
You know what was interesting is that they're saying that these individuals should all have been arrested because they were held. But there was a certain Gary Griffith that there were 27 persons that I held in silos, and I warned them, and all of them they let go, and that was not a problem then. Just about a month and a half ago, 17 persons were swimming at the bay next to Bayside from Silots, from Caranage, from St. James, and none of them were arrested, and that was not an issue. Now, the same thing that took place in Silots and next to Bayside is done here, but that becomes an issue.
A call has been made on the Cabinet Subcommittee on the Water Sector to give urgent priority to rural community. This comes from Member of Parliament for Mayaro, Rushton Parry. In a release, he said recent dry spells have made supply issues even more critical and pressing in Mayaro, and other countryside communities. Mr. Parry believes that the committee should give priority to fixing pipeline leaks in the districts and to ensure that more equitable distribution. He wants the team to acknowledge that while creating a master plan, many nationals are being starved of a supply for their daily needs. As such, he said they must begin to introduce remedies to the dreadful water woes being faced by nationals, especially those in badly affected rural communities. President of the Public Services Association, Watson Duke, said government's upcoming budget must show efforts to put the working class first. Mr. Duke claimed that over 30,000 jobs were lost in the past 5 years. The 2021 national budget will be presented in Parliament on Monday, 5th October 2020. He explained the specific approach he wants to see.
We expect the government to at least allow the working class to maintain 100% of their purchasing power. So even if workers do not receive an increase in salary, they must receive a top-up on what now is their salary so as to ensure that these workers' salary can be able to maintain their basic standard of living.
You are listening to the 7 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. It's time now to take a look at regional and international developments. Regionally, St. Martin is continuing to work towards reaching zero active COVID-19 cases. The Minister of Public Health, Richard Panelfleck, in a media conference said St. Martin's number of active cases increased to 187. He noted so far hospitalizations during the second wave of the virus have been significantly lower than experienced in the first wave. The minister said as of August 13, a decreased trend in the number of new cases reported daily was noticed. However, it is still too early to conclude whether the trend would sustain. St. Martin over the last couple days recorded single digits in terms of new coronavirus cases but saw it jump again on Tuesday. To date, the island has recorded 527 confirmed cases with 321 people recovered from the virus. Internationally, scientists and health professionals have raised doubts about Prime Minister Boris Johnson's Operation Man-Shoot plans for mass coronavirus testing. The PM hopes millions of COVID-19 tests, including some given results within minutes, could be processed daily. But experts say there are issues with laboratory capacity for current tests, while the technology for more rapid tests does not exist as yet. The British Medical Journal says leaked memos show the plan could cost £100 billion. Speaking after his announcement that gatherings in England are to be restricted to 6 people from Monday, Mr. Johnson said the government was working hard to increase testing capacity to 500,000 tests a day by the end of October. In news of the weather for the period today until tonight, Trinidad will experience a sunny morning with showers developing by early afternoon. There is the medium to high chance of heavy afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Improvement in conditions is expected by evening to give a mostly settled night. Gusty winds and street or flash flooding are likely in areas of heavy showers or thunderstorms. Tobago and the remainder of the Lesser Antilles, predominantly sunny conditions will be interrupted by a few brief light to moderate showers. A generally fair night. Seas are moderate with waves up to 2 meters in open waters and 1 meter in sheltered areas. The current temperature is 24 degrees Celsius. And that brings us to the end of the 7 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Stay tuned for another newscast at 8 a.m. I am Nicole Dookie. Good morning.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
P&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liquor, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations, Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Darpon Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited for all your grocery items, wholesale and retail. At Darpon, you can also transfer money, pay your bills, and also cash your social welfare checks. Darpon Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited, located at number 28 Foster Road, Sangre Grande. They also specialize in real estate, and they also have a special on land at Arena Road, Freeport, for just $165,000 per plot. For further information, call Darban Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited at 267-3063 or 223-0630. Darban Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited of number 28 Foster Road, Sangre Grande.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus, my name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
Praise Him, praise Him.
U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is now on Facebook. Like us, follow and share our page. We'll be sharing the latest news, tips, and much more. You can also view what's happening in our studio. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel at RCL U975.
Boy, I can't wait to go home now.
Stuck in traffic again, Hare Babri.
Well, guess what? Your day is about to get hotter than ever in the afternoon. It's the new afternoon drive time program on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Tune in Monday to Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. with yours truly, the DJ Flavia Experience. Let's make it hotter than ever in the afternoon. Great music, great info, and great vibes. Hotter than ever in the afternoon. Monday to Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
This is Samaru Ramru inviting you on a journey down memory lane with enchanting songs on the program Nightline, Mondays to Thursdays, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Let your heart sing along with the music on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Yes, well, with me on the air now is Anil Ramjit, who is the president of the Tavakita Gasparilla Chamber. And we've been discussing for the past couple of weeks, or having conversation rather, within the last couple of weeks with a number of our stakeholders as we look at a budget 2020-2021. So let's take Mr. Ramjit live on air. Good morning, Mr. Ramjit, and thanks for taking our call this morning.
Hi, good morning to you, and I want to try the label.
Well, certainly, budget 2020 as a businessman, and you head the Gasparilla Tavakita Chamber. You must be concerned as to what Finance Minister Colm Imbert will present in this package. What are some of your thoughts? What are you expecting in this budget, more so as a businessman? I would have spoken yesterday to the president of the Supermarket Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and he would have expressed to me, along with Kiran Singh, that the ease of which business people ought to conduct business should be something which the minister should look at. Share your thoughts with me on some of these areas.
Oh, definitely. We, the business people, the ease of doing business in Trinidad and Tobago has increased over the last 5 years, and it has really put pressure on business, especially import-export. This is something that we need to look at, the government needs to look at, for business to continue to survive in this new normal. The world has gone into a tailspin with this COVID-19. Small business are reeling. Some of us are just barely making it. Even the core business like pharmacies and supermarkets and things that you would expect to do well is not, because people just don't have money. So the government, we're looking for the government, the Minister of Finance, to do something to stimulate economic activities in our economy, because we cannot continue like this.
All right, you talk about stimulating economic activity, and one of my concerns, and I spoke about this yesterday, is to put greater measures or greater resources into the Ministry of Planning, more so town and country planning, because I understand that there are a number of developers who want to engage in construction and what have you, Mr. Ramjit, who are having problems in getting, let's say, the necessary plans and document process and pass by town and country. And this too is what you just alluded to, the ease of doing business. Share your thoughts with me.
Of course. I spoke to the Minister of Trade sometime before election about the same thing. One of our members in the Gasparilla Chamber has a piece of property that he wants to develop. It will bring some economic to Gasparilla. It will bring jobs. It will bring some ease in Gasparilla. But again, all the red tape and bureaucracy is putting a squeeze on that project. So we need the government to look at all those things. I know that there were a group of people put in place for that, according to the trade minister. It's something that we have to look in greater depth to see. But definitely we need to address that.
All right.
I know that throughout the country that there are developers who are waiting months, years for approvals, and we need to address this so that we can get the ball turning.
All right. Now, we live in a very, let's say, strange and unusual environment given the COVID-19 pandemic. A number of people would have lost their jobs and businesses closing on a daily basis. Even yesterday, Kiran Singh would have reported that over 20% of businesses in San Fernando would have shut its doors, and there's an expectation that more and more businesses would close. What do you expect the Minister of Finance to say or to introduce to address this? In essence, Mr. Ramjit, the survivability of businesses in our country going forward?
Well, my expectation is not very high, but what I would like to see is some stimulus package. I would like to see some financial aid to businesses. Gasparilla Mall, probably about 50% occupied now. I know a number of businesses are really struggling even to pay their rent.
Mm-hmm.
So we would like to see probably a financial injection into the small and medium business in Gasparilla.
Mm-hmm.
The other concern I think that a lot of us have is foreign exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And the access to foreign exchange. Most of our business rely on foreign exchange to survive. I know a couple of businesses that has gone down because they just cannot access the money to get their goods. And in that aspect, I would humbly like to see the refinery brought back online. The refinery would save us foreign exchange where we now normally used to buy fuel, and also it could generate foreign exchange that we can sell. I think that we have a grand opportunity to restart the refinery and run it like a private entity, profit-driven.
All right. And to create more liquidity into the system, economists and other stakeholders would have suggested that the government of the DMI Extension Finance Minister Colm Imbu reduce the VAT from 12% to 10%. That, in other words, to give people more buying power. Would you support such a measure?
I think so. And any initiative to put extra money into the hands of the population so that they can buy more, and this is the buying power is what stimulates the growth in business. However, I don't see that happening from the government point of view. They say that they have no money, and they would look to access and tax every cent that they can.
Mm.
That is the harsh reality, but I think the 10% is a significant move.
Mm.
I don't know if it will come to fruition, but it's something that we could work with to start.
And your thoughts on the government's impetus and trust in bringing to the population this property tax. So what are your thoughts on it at this time? Do you think that it should be put on hold at this time?
No, that they should put a definite hold on it, because I know a lot of owners who have commercial properties are 50% occupied, businesses are closing down. If it is not occupied and not generating income, you're just going to kill people.
Mm.
You're going to drive market down. That's a disaster waiting to happen. So I would admonish the government to hold a hand on them until we can dig ourselves out of this economic rut, and then we can go forward.
All right, let's shift gears here a bit, Mr. Ramjet. You operate from the pharmaceutical fraternity. Have you heard anything concerning any sort of adjustment to the CDAP program? Because there are reports circulating that the CDAP program may be curtailed. There may be some adjustment to it here. Have you heard anything concerning that?
I have not heard anything about the CDAP program. And to be quite honest, I have heard nothing. No intervention into that thus far.
Mm-hmm. All right. No. Let's look at this matter, which would certainly impact on fence line communities surrounding Point-de-Pierre and the Petrotrin refinery. Now, this seems to be a matter which has been ongoing for the longest while, and there's no, let's say, light at the end of the tunnel. How important it is, Mr. Ramjet, for this refinery to be back up and running again, so in order to create what you call greater opportunities for people in and around that area?
Well, I mean, it is like the blood in your veins. The refinery is core to the economic activity of Trinidad and Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
When the refinery was closed, it was felt throughout Trinidad and Tobago, more so south of the Caroni River. I mean, if you talk to Mr. Kiran, who is the president of the San Fernando Chamber, Faizamad, you would see that the far-reaching effect of the shutdown of the Petrotrin refinery, how far it affected. You know, they say 5,000, 6,000 employees. It is not so. I myself am a former employee of Petrotrin refinery, and I can tell you, when you look at temporary, casual workers, permanent workers, contracted workers, service industry, you about 50 to 60,000 people lost their jobs. That is the harsh reality. And it is sad to know that people who do not know and is not part and do not know the business of refinery speak about it. But I'm telling you, senior perspective, that the employment was far-reaching. If they were to restart the refinery with fewer employees, get it going, bring back the service companies, the spin-off effects is enormous. You know, they were saying that the refinery will lose in $2 billion. That is not so. However, worst case scenario, if the refinery is still losing, when you look at the foreign exchange earning capacity, then we look at how much we can save from buying fuel as to making our own fuel. And then you're looking at the employment and the spin-off, the economy that goes with the workers now buying into the community. The benefits are enormous and too much to ignore.
Mr. Ramjet, the finance minister would have announced that he is prepared to meet with stakeholders on the 28th of this month to address the 2020-2021 budget. What are some of your recommendations? What is your advice to the minister with this package?
Well, as you mentioned, and my colleagues in the other chambers, we want him to look at the ease of doing business. Mm-hmm. We would want him to look at the fair share of the foreign exchange. There are companies that get millions, and small companies that need 10,000 cannot get it. We want to look at that. I, as a chamber president, from the gas world perspective, I would love to see the refinery come up and running. I think it will affect the country as a whole. Mm-hmm. Those are the three things I would love to see that the minister addresses. The keeping the property tax away for now, for the next year or two. Those are the things that I would like him to address.
Mm-hmm. But yet there's also a view being shared by some that maybe the minister should look at reducing corporate tax and income tax so that people can have more liquidity so that they'll have greater buying power. Your thoughts?
Definitely. No, the thing about it, those are great initiatives, those are great ideas. But then again, you would hear the government and the minister saying that they have no funds, no resources, they need. I mean, we had this discussion March with Minister of Trade. We asked that she take it to the government, and those were the words of the government that this is the revenue that they are using to prop the country in this time. So while it is a good initiative, I really don't see it coming to fruition.
All right. Finally, Mr. Ramjet, what are your membership telling you going forward? Because this package, this 2020-2021 fiscal package, will certainly be a headache and a challenge for the minister. What are your membership telling you?
Well, in discussion with some of the business people, one of the things from the landlord perspective is that people are unable to pay their rent. I know most of them are given sanctions. They are not collecting. Some of them have reduced rent. But they were asking that if they could get an injection, that small business get a rent grant, at least for a couple of months, that would help both the small business and the landlord, because everybody is biting the bullet. I would love to see that. That's one of the main things that I would like to see happen.
All right, Mr. Ramjet, I want to thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. Always a pleasure talking to you, my friend, and stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, that's the voice there of Anil Ramjet, who is the president of the Gasparillo Chamber, sharing some thoughts with us this morning as we look at Budget 2020, Budget 2021. His contention here this morning, as other president of the various chambers, is the ease of doing business. Greater measures initiative should be placed in this area by the Minister of Finance, the ease of doing business in this country, too much protocol, too much red tape. The matter concerning Forex, the availability of a foreign exchange, and also too, one of his pet peeve is the return of the Petrotrin refinery. Let's thank Mr. Ramjet very much for being with us here at 975. The time in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago is just about 7:30, and it's that time where I present to you our COVID feature for today. Now, this COVID feature is coming to you with the compliments of Barlow Engineering and Construction Services Limited. Let's thank Barlow Engineering and Construction Services Limited for partnering with us here at 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us.
It's now time for your COVID-19 feature on U975, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. It's coming to you with the kind compliments of Ballo Engineering, Construction and Maintenance Services Limited.
This is SARS-CoV-2. It belongs to the family of coronaviruses named for the crown-like spikes on their surfaces. SARS-CoV-2 can cause COVID-19, a contagious viral infection that attacks primarily your throat and lungs. What actually happens in your body when you contract the coronavirus? What exactly causes your body to develop pneumonia? And how would a vaccine work? The coronavirus must infect living cells in order to reproduce. Let's have a closer look. Inside the virus, genetic material contains the information to make more copies of itself. A protein shell provides a hard protective enclosure for the genetic material as the virus travels between the people it infects. An outer envelope allows the virus to infect cells by merging with the cell's outer membrane. Projecting from the envelope are spikes of protein molecules. Both a typical influenza virus and the new coronavirus use their spikes like a key to get inside a cell in your body, where it takes over the cell's internal machinery, repurposing it to build the components of new viruses. When an infected person talks, coughs, or sneezes, droplets carrying the virus may land in your mouth or nose and then move into your lungs. Once inside your body, the virus comes in contact with cells in your throat, nose, or lungs. One spike on the virus inserts into a receptor molecule on your healthy cell membrane like a key in a lock. This action allows the virus to get inside your cell. A typical flu virus would travel inside a sac made from your cell membrane to your cell's nucleus that houses all its genetic material. The coronavirus, on the other hand, doesn't need to enter the host cell nucleus. It can directly access parts of the host cell called ribosomes. Ribosomes use genetic information from the virus to make viral proteins, such as the spikes on the virus's surface. A packaging structure in your cell then carries the spikes in vesicles, which merge with your cell's outer layer, the cell membrane. All the parts needed to create a new virus gather just beneath your cell's membrane. Then, a new virus begins to bud off from the cell's membrane. Now, with the virus spreading in your body, how can you develop pneumonia symptoms? For this, we'll have to look into your lungs. Each lung has separate sections called lobes. Normally, as you breathe, air moves freely through your trachea or windpipe, then through large tubes called bronchi, through smaller tubes called bronchioles, and finally into tiny sacs called alveoli. Your airways and alveoli are flexible and springy. When you breathe in, each air sac inflates like a small balloon. And when you exhale, the sacs deflate. Small blood vessels called capillaries surround your alveoli. Oxygen from the air you breathe passes into your capillaries, and then carbon dioxide from your body passes out of your capillaries into your alveoli so that your lungs can get rid of it when you exhale. Your airways catch most germs in the mucus that lines your trachea, bronchi, and bronchioles. In a healthy body, hair-like cilia lining the tubes constantly push the mucus and germs out of your airways, where you might expel them by coughing. Normally, cells of your immune system attack viruses and germs that make it past your mucus and cilia and enter your alveoli. However, if your immune system is weakened, like in the case of a coronavirus infection, the virus can overwhelm your immune cells, and your bronchioles and alveoli become inflamed as your immune system attacks the multiplying viruses. The inflammation can cause your alveoli to fill with fluid, making it difficult for your body to get the oxygen it needs. You could develop lobar pneumonia, where one lobe of your lungs is affected, or you could have bronchopneumonia that affects many areas of both lungs. Pneumonia may cause difficulty breathing, chest pain, coughing, fever and chills, confusion, headache, muscle pain, and fatigue. It can also lead to more serious complications. Respiratory failure occurs when your breathing becomes so difficult that you need a machine called a ventilator to help you breathe. These are the machines that save lives and that medical device companies currently ramp up production for. Whether you would develop these symptoms depends on a lot of factors, such as your age and whether you already have an existing condition. While this all sounds scary, the push to develop a coronavirus vaccine is moving at high speed. Studies of other coronaviruses led most researchers to assume that people who have recovered from a SARS-CoV-2 infection could be protected from reinfection for a period of time. But that assumption needs to be backed by empirical evidence, and some studies suggest otherwise. There are several different approaches for a potential vaccine against the coronavirus. The basic idea is that you would get a shot that contains faint versions of the virus. The vaccine would expose your body to a version of the virus that is too weak to cause infection, but just strong enough to stimulate an immune response. Within a few weeks, cells in your immune system would make markers called antibodies, which would be specific for only the coronavirus, or specifically its spike protein. Antibodies then attach to the virus and prevent it from attaching to your cells. Your immune system then responds to signals from the antibodies by consuming and destroying the clumps of viruses. If you then catch the real virus at a later stage, your body would recognize it and destroy it. In other words, your immune system is now primed. Collecting evidence on whether this will be possible, safe, and effective is part of what's taking researchers so long to develop a vaccine. It's a race against time to develop a vaccine amid a pandemic. Each step in vaccine development usually takes months, if not years. An Ebola vaccine broke records by being ready in 5 years. The hope here is to develop one for the new coronavirus in a record-breaking 12 to 18 months. While all of this will take time, stay home if you can to protect the most vulnerable. And don't forget to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds and as often as possible.
That was your COVID-19 feature on U975 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. It was brought to you courtesy Balo Engineering, Construction and Maintenance Services Limited.
Darpon Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited for all your grocery items, wholesale and retail. At Darpon, you can also transfer money, pay your bills, and also cash your social welfare checks. Darpon Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited, located at number 28 Foster Road, Sangre Grande. They also specialize in real estate, and they also have a special on land at Arena Road, Freeport, for just $165,000 per plot. For further information, call Darban Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited at 267-3063 or 223-0630. Darban Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited of number 28 Foster Road, Sangre Grande.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus, my name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
Praise Him, praise Him.
U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is now on Facebook. Like us, follow and share our page. We'll be sharing the latest news, tips and much more. You can also view what's happening in our studio. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel at RCL U975.
Gosh, boy, I can't wait to go home now.
Stuck in traffic again, Hare Babri.
Well, guess what? Your day is about to get hotter than ever in the afternoon. It's the new afternoon drive time program on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Tune in Monday to Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. with yours truly, the DJ Flavia Experience. Let's make it hotter than ever in the afternoon. Great music, great info, and great vibes. Hotter than ever in the afternoon. Monday to Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
This is Samaru Ramu inviting you on a journey down memory lane with enchanting songs on the program Nightline. Mondays to Thursdays, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Let your heart sing along with the music on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Just about 19 minutes here to the hour of 8 o'clock, and that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of radio 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. As we continue to take your calls at 636-7547, 227-5739. We are into the second hour of today's edition of the morning program. Yes, we're talking here budget 2020, budget 2021. What are your expectations? Before I went to the commercials here this morning, just in case you know, joined the program, I would have spoken to Anil Ramjit, who is president of the Gasparillo Chamber. He would have made certain suggestions to the minister, more so the return, or rather the operation or the startup of the Point-de-Paix refinery, the ease of which business people ought to conduct business in this country. There's too much protocol and too much red tape. He's calling for the removal of such greater resources to the town and country planning division, so that people who want to get involved in construction to get all of the necessary documentation passed on a timely basis. This certainly is one of the headaches which business people face outside there, especially those in the construction sector. So it's something that which the minister ought to look at. As a result of that, a number of people have been talking about expectations in taxes. They are saying that this is a no-no at this time to lessen the burden on the taxpayers of this country. So we don't know whether the Minister of Finance, Colm Imber, will look at corporate tax, will look at personal income tax. We don't know whether he will look at the reduction in VAT. As it stands now, it's at 12.5%. There's expectation that he may raise that to 15%, as we discussed this yesterday. So a number of people would have speculated as to what this package will be. So we can continue to look at this matter. Let's take this call on the line. All right, I'm sorry to miss your call. You need to call us back at 636-7547, 227-5739. COVID-19, just in case it would have escaped you two people, the rate continues to increase in this country. It's certainly a headache for the Minister of Health, and he would have said that yesterday, that he cannot fathom and understand why people want to continue to behave in this particular manner. You cannot put a police officer on every street corner. No, you cannot do that. People must behave in a particular way. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning. About the budget.
Yes.
So the minister has to be very, very careful with business people, because you don't want business people to close down their business. If business people close down their business, they end up with more, in a lot of problems. Two of them being one, unemployment. All right. Secondly, you won't get no tax from that business because that business is no longer operated. So you need to give the business people and them a break so that they could pay the tax, they could employ people, and they can have these things going. It's not because of a situation where you don't have money and to tax them heavy. Because a lot of business people, they can take care of themselves. They probably have enough money in the bank. They can take care of themselves, shut down their business. They won't have all amount of tax to pay, and then they employ nobody.
All right. Well, let me challenge you here a bit this morning. And what you are saying is relevant to our discussion. But how do you expect the government of the day, or more so the finance minister, to raise revenue?
Kenrick, that's the reason why you have to sit down with the business people and them and discuss it. And that's what they're not doing. You have to sit down with the business people. Things could work out, you know. At the end of the day, everybody can be happy. But if one side not listening to the other side, they're going to have problems. you're going to have problems. You don't want the business for them to close down and then you can't collect no tax.
So what are your suggestions in terms of raising revenue? Because you have bills to pay, you have public servants to satisfy, you have negotiations to satisfy.
Yes.
So how are you going to raise revenue?
This is what I've seen, Henrik, is the same thing I've seen like the property tax.
Mhm.
People willing to pay the property tax, but it's the amount of money they want to charge the people. All right? It's the same thing with the business people. Business people willing to pay the taxes, but you have to be very, very cautious and very, very, very fair to the business people as well.
Well, I am saying this morning that maybe the minister should look at reducing VAT from 12.5% to 10%, so that
Well,
there can be greater liquidity in the system.
Well, like I say, the business people and them have their ideas, and all you need to do is to sit down with it, because at the end of the day, the business people and them who pay the taxes,
And let me tell you something, my friend. The minister and his operative listen to this program, so your thoughts would not go unheeded. That's why I love talking to people about the budget. I am also saying that VAT should be removed from certain basic foodstuffs in this country, from the shelves. I am saying that this morning.
Well, I am very, very surprised that during this pandemic here, they didn't take off the VAT of the sanitizers and all those cleaning agents and all of that. The mask, you paying $10 for a mask, Henrik. Some people can't wear the cloth mask, they have to wear the other mask. It costs like $200 for the month and only mask, because you have to change your mask every day. Right? And these are the kind of things that, they have to soften up for the people.
And one must also look at what is happening in terms of our fight against COVID-19. Over 2,500 cases thus far. Now, it's a cost to the taxpayers, it's a cost to the state. So you have to find money to deal with this matter, to fight this matter. So where are we going to get this money from?
All right. You know where we're getting that money from?
The Heritage and Stabilization Fund.
No. You see that the people and them that lower their pass, and they're charging the people and them $1,000 for not wearing their mask? That money will come in very handy there.
Okay, my friend. All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your contribution here with me this morning, my friend. You can call us at 636-7547, 227-5739. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Good morning, Henry. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, good morning, Larry. I spoke with the young lady yesterday, and during the course of the day, today or tomorrow, I'll have a conversation with Dr. Wheeler, and I can see if I can get her to engage her in some sort of conversation. Yes?
Well, Kenrick, I'm trying my very best to get proper information for our listening audience, so that nobody can say that Larry is spreading propaganda and fake news. So that is out of the clear, right? So I just wanted that to be known.
All right. And just let me add to our conversation. Based on what the Minister of Health, Terence Dialson, would have said yesterday, there is no vaccine to fight or treat COVID-19 patient. He said a vaccine, there's an expectation. And this is, let me underline that word. There's an expectation that the world may get a vaccine at the middle of next year. And Trinidad and Tobago, through the Pan American Health Organization, would have been given some sort of, let's say, quote-unquote preferential treatment to get 400,000 of these vaccines. A percentage, of course. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so then, let's go back to yesterday's conversation. So then what I said yesterday was not false news.
No, I'm saying to you, there is no vaccine, contrary to what is being bandied about outside there.
Good. And that is the reason why I get in contact with the Pan American Health Authority yesterday to get these information that you can get it properly well said on your program so that people can understand that what I said, it is not fake.
Right. So I'm also in the know, Larry. So I follow these things on a regular basis.
I sent you something.
I even follow BBC and CNN, so I can tell you what's happening in the world. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, right. But listen, I sent you something on your WhatsApp. I don't expect you to read it right now, but I wouldn't talk about that today and next day for that topic. It is something that you have to look at, right? Very, very important. This came off the WHO website, okay? So I'm dealing with the facts. I'm dealing with the reliable source of information. Now, Kenrick, yesterday I get soaked in that rain in Barapo area yesterday with a heavy rainfall, right? And I'm asking myself the question, we are seeing a lot of weather pattern is being changed at this particular time. I'm not seeing really any of the excavators going out to clean the mouths of rivers or the water courses that causing flood. Because look at Muruga. Muruga had a ton of water yesterday in flood. And, you know, a hamper, I keep telling people, a hamper can help you when a flood come about. You're losing your home. You're losing everything that you work hard for. I'm wondering why the Ministry of Works and Transport, Mr. Rohan Sinanan, the Honorable Mr. Rohan Sinanan, why is not he having the infrastructure part of these rivers being cleaned properly? Because we are getting changes of weather pattern as the days go by, and it is more and more rain is falling. We cannot really stop flooding, but we can try to eliminate it in some way or the other to bring some relief to people that, what we are seeing. But then again, now people have to inspect their roofs of their home. Maybe their roof is not properly well attached to the brick lane or the beam on the house that they built. And all of these things have to be taken care of. So I'm looking at that, Kenrick, because in the budget, I want to know what really the Minister of Finance is putting towards disaster in this country in times of a natural disaster that we may have. Secondly, when we looked at what is taking place with COVID-19 in the country, Kenrick, people still having their mask under their chin. On the field, and I can tell you that. I'm seeing it. And a lot of business people now is getting to the point where they could be charged, they could be heavily charged and face the court. They're telling people they cannot enter without the mask, and people is getting on outside of business places. I'm seeing it, Kenrick. And I listened to the Minister of Health yesterday when he made the statement that he went to purchase lunch and he saw a gentleman eating in the establishment. I am asking the Minister of Health this morning, you as the Minister of Health seeing that, what did you do? Did you tell the listening audience on that meeting yesterday what steps you take to ensure that don't happen again? What did you call Mr. Gary Griffith? But then again, Kenrick, I'm going to have a party home by me and you are invited to come. It's my private home. Because I looked at the video yesterday, Kenrick, and according to the minister, he's talking to the Attorney General. Kenrick, and when they say this regulation came out, it is for one and it is for all. I'm only asking a question. Because now you're telling me that a private property, you can have a party of 20 people and you're not breaking the guidelines. That is something that has to be out of this world. So they need to sit down now and go back and do the research to see whether or not these people can be charged, whether they are locals, whether they are foreigners, or whatever the case is. Because this is not fair. You want to lock up these assets on them, you want to charge these assets on them, fine. So what is the difference now? With a gated community? Kenrick, that's the reason why COVID-19 in this country is going to get out of hand. And we're going to bawl and we're going to cry. But because the policy makers themselves ain't know what they're doing.
All right, well, I hear you, Larry. But I don't want to sound as though I'm beating a whole horse here or repeating myself. We have to look at what is the bigger picture. You cannot legislate for everything. This virus will spread and is spreading and has spread because of personal contact with people. You minimize such if you do not congregate, whether it's in your home or whether it's in the public. You minimize the risk of contracting the virus. So if anybody feel outside there, well, they could host a party at their house with 25 or 20 people and do what you're accustomed doing in these very challenging times. Well, it's up to you. But at the same time, you are not being responsible. You are not being responsible. The police cannot be everywhere. You cannot legislate for everything. There will always be loopholes. There will always be people outside there who will try to find loopholes to fight the system, to defeat the system. But the bigger picture is to flatten the curve, reduce the risk. Because if we continue like this, yesterday 1,097 cases. 197 cases yesterday. We're bordering on over 2,500 plus. It's a frightening figure. It's a cost to the state, where you have to buy machinery, you have to buy PPE, that is personal protective equipment. You have to pay staff to work overtime. It's a cost to the state. And while people behave in a particular way and the cases continue to rise, we, the taxpayers, have to dig deeper into our pocket to offset the cost. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 975. Good morning.
Good morning. You asked earlier what the government can do to assist in the situation and get revenue. I think that you would have said for them to remove the VAT on essential, but you can increase the tax are non-essential, like alcohol, the persons have the option to decide if they want to pay that or not.
Mm-hmm.
But essential, it's a must. You cannot, there's no option for that. Flour, rice, you must buy it. So that can be removed from those items. But alcohol, you can take the tax up on that.
Alcohol and cigarettes.
Yeah. So things like that can be done. Also, they can look at rent. We have landlords that are charging exorbitant price for a facility that does not match that rent. They can look at things to regulate that, so ease the burden on the renter, and the person that owns the property would also gain an income, but you relieve the one that's renting, the rentee. So that's my contribution.
All right, well, thank you very much. Well, very valuable contribution indeed, and I've been making that point since about 3 days now, whereby the minister should look at removing VAT on basic food items. This one escaped me where you're talking about the minister should increase taxes on alcohol and cigarettes. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kenny.
And good morning to you, sir. Good morning.
Ms. Duki, wherever you are, good morning. You know, it is difficult to understand. You ask a man just, so what is your solution? Then everybody has to charge $1,000. Let that be my solution. So then they have to charge you. We had to increase the population about 10,000 times to make up the money, but it's required to see about the same population. So you're charging everybody $1,000. Where the mass on it, and that money will see about the budget and fix the road on it. That makes sense, Mr. Kendrick?
No, I'm listening to you, you know. I'm always talking about the bigger picture. What is the bigger picture here?
They don't understand. I hear the government buy some equipment, how much $1 million are gained just recently, a few days ago. Just to fight COVID. We don't understand the cost that this thing is cost. And you know, you said to me just because I didn't hear the chamber, I came in late. We are asking for Petrotrin to be reopened. If I, as a businessman, and I have money in this wrongs, getting in the oil business, ain't making no sense. That's so, Mr. Kendrick?
No, well, you share an opinion. Don't ask me to agree with you. I'm listening to you.
All right, okay. But my opinion, if I'm into the oil business, and I am not getting into the oil business at this present time, because all planes around the world ain't moving. Cars, countries around the world, you know, as well, I had to say, we had to take a pattern from Wuhan, China, where the thing started.
Mm-hmm.
You see how they had a massive pool party yesterday or the day before yesterday. Because why? They could prove to the world that they don't have that virus there anymore. You could go in a cinema now, but there's a new normal. You go into the cinema, before you go in the cinema, we take your temperature to make sure you don't have any virus. China is way ahead. People are going around the job normal in Wuhan. But we have a problem in Trinidad and Tobago because the sun with a cork hood. So there's a whole heap of people. There's people going around saying that ain't here. And they ever tell you it was here before election. And it was here since Carnival. Then that was the case. The amount that we have now will have been tripled. The healthcare system right now cannot continue to go. And you talk about PP, all the nurses and the doctors were supposed to be burned out. We imported nurses and doctors now. Mr. Kendrick, enjoy your morning.
All right, well, thank you very much for your contribution here with me this morning. As I said, my contention here is to look at the bigger picture, and I've been saying this to you for the longest while, that you cannot put a police officer on every street corner. And by you putting on a mask on your head, on your forehead, hanging it from your ears, and putting it lower down by your chin, you're only mama guying yourself. All you're doing is mama guying yourself. That's all you're doing. Wear the thing properly. If you do not want to wear it, well, then you'll face the repercussions. You'll have to pay. That's all I'm saying to you this morning. You know, it's a cost to the state. It's a cost to the state. If you listen to the health minister yesterday, it's a cost to the state, people. It's your money, taxpayers' money. So if all you want to behave in a particular way, well, all you're free to do so. But I will tell you, as a responsible citizen, I am doing what is right. Anyway, stay with us here, 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us. I'll be right back after the 8 o'clock newscast.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 97.5 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for major news to the hour. It comes to you with the very kind compliments of Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday, and Darpan Trading Company Limited.
This is the 8 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Nicole Dukey. Good morning. Health Minister Terence Dial Singh has indicated that he will speak to the Attorney General about a recent pool party at Bayside Towers. According to reports, more than 5 persons were present without masks and only received a warning from police officers who responded to calls from residents. When asked about the incident and why disciplinary action was not taken, Mr. Dial Singh said the Public Health Ordinance regulations speak to public spaces.
I had a conversation with both the Commissioner of Police and the Minister of National Security this morning on that same issue, and I think the regulations more or less speak to public spaces. I have been imploring and sometimes literally begging people not to host these type of events in your private properties. I will have to talk to the Attorney General to see if it is possible, because these are serious constitutional areas we are going into now. People have a right to privacy, but we don't need a constitutional argument to tell people that how you conduct yourselves in your private premises will capsize the whole thing. Do we need to go that route?
Mr. Dial Singh warned that while young people want to maintain their social lives, they need to be responsible given the ongoing pandemic.
I understand that young people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s want to lead an active social life. But this is our World War II, and it is going to call for all of us to be responsible. Like how I was disturbed when I went to lunch on Monday and saw a man dining in full view of everyone. So you passed the regulation, no in-store dining, but it is being flouted. Now we have to go into people's private homes and tell you how you have to behave. Shouldn't have to be.
Meanwhile, head of the legal unit at the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, Christian Chandler, echoed sentiments regarding the regulations.
We must distinguish between the public and the private space, because the law caters for the public space. When you look at Section 3, when you look at Section 4, that talks about being about your water and that sort of thing. Because in that article, right, people ask the question and they put it out there that, look, is there a law for people of a certain race or a certain class? And that is not so. Reports are still coming in. The majority of the people there, that we understand it, and that were gathered there were a mixture of residents and persons invited. As well as, in that article, they would have spoken about some time before when some persons were bathing in the actual sea outside of the Bayside Towers. Now, that in itself is captured by the public regulations.
Also commenting on the Bayside incident was Police Commissioner Gary Griffith, who assured it is not the case of discrimination.
You know what was interesting is that they're saying that these individuals should all have been arrested because they were held. But there was a certain Gary Griffith that there were 27 persons that I held in silos, and I warned them, and all of them they let go, and that was not a problem then. Just about a month and a half ago, 17 persons were swimming at the bay next to Bayside from Silots, from Caranage, from St. James, and none of them were arrested, and that was not an issue. Now, the same thing that took place in Silots and next to Bayside is done here, but that becomes an issue.
More than 120 families have been affected by inclement weather in Caroni East after their roofs were blown off. Opposition MP Dr. Richard Sechuran noted that the homes of a few of his constituents were destroyed during Tuesday's rainfall and strong winds. The affected infrastructures are located in St. Helena, Cali Village, Madras Road, Ragunanan Road, and at Hinkin Street in Kunumpir. These were the areas that were worst hit during the thunderstorms and gusty winds. Dr. Sechuran said he was pleased that assistance was received in the form of tarpaulins, mattresses, galvanized lumber, and food supplies in order that the residents could continue to occupy their respective homes. He added that help is being sought to repair the damage, which included fallen trees. Furthermore, the Caroni East MP took the opportunity to plead for assistance going forward. Deputy Chief Secretary and Secretary of Finance and the Economy in the Tobago House of Assembly, Joel Jack, is expecting more than the barest minimum to Tobago when the national budget is presented in October. On Monday, a statement from Finance Minister Com Imbert said the 2021 national budget will be presented in the House of Representatives on Monday, October 5th. In 2019, the THA requested $4.72 billion but received only $2.283 billion, approximately 4% of the $53 billion in the 2019-2020 budget. Earlier in June, the Assembly requested a total of $4.71 billion from the central government for its fiscal 2020-2021 budget. Jack said the fiscal package requested was crafted against the backdrop of the global health and economic crisis brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic, which he said has significant implications for the island of Tobago. The president of the Public Services Association, Watson Duke, said government's upcoming budget must show efforts to put the working class first. Mr. Duke claimed that over 30,000 jobs were lost over the past 5 years. The 2021 national budget will be presented in the Parliament on Monday, 5th October 2020. He explained the specific approach he wants to see.
We expect the government to at least allow the working class to maintain 100% of their purchasing power. So even if workers do not receive an increase in salary, they must receive a top-up on what now is their salary so as to ensure that these workers' salary can be able to maintain their basic standard of living.
You are listening to the ATM News on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. It's time now to take a look at regional and international developments. Regionally, despite a 5-month shutdown of the tourism industry, the Bahamas Foreign Reserve are still wholesome and healthy. This is according to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, K. Peter Turnquest. He said despite the challenges wrought by the COVID-19 pandemic, with approximately $2.1 billion, the territory's foreign reserve is still fairly robust. He said the government has a plan which, despite the challenges, is working. Although the situation is fluid, the minister said they are confident that the existing reserve is enough to sustain the Bahamas until the tourism sector is open fully and functional again. Internationally, British Airways owner IAG is cutting more flights over the next 3 months as it adjusts to the continuing collapse in demand for air travel. IAG said quarantine restrictions meant capacity this autumn will be 60% below to 2019 levels. The group said it has seen a delay in recovery and did not expect businesses to return in 2019 levels until 2023. IAG also said British Airways has recently reached and outlined a job agreement with Unite. The union has been in a bitter dispute with British Airways over redundancies and pay cuts. The airline, which is aiming to shed up to 30,000 jobs, said that by the end of August, some 8,236 employees have left the business, mostly as a result of voluntary redundancy. Unite is expected to hold a ballot on the agreement soon. For the period this afternoon until tonight, Trinidad will experience a sunny morning with showers developing by early afternoon. There is the medium to high chance of heavy showers and thunderstorms. Improvement in conditions is expected by evening to give way to a mostly settled night. Gusty winds and street or flash flooding are likely in areas of heavy showers or thunderstorms. Tobago and the remainder of the Lesser Antilles, predominantly sunny conditions will be interrupted by a few brief to light to moderate showers, with a generally fair night. Seas are moderate with waves up to 2 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. The current temperature is 27 degrees Celsius. And that brings us to the end of the 8 a.m. newscast on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Stay tuned for another newscast at noon. I am Nicole Dukey. Good morning.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you with the very kind compliments of Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday, and Darpan Trading Company Limited.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Darpan Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited for all your grocery items, wholesale and retail. At Darpan, you can also transfer money, pay your bills, and also cash your social welfare checks. Darpan Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited, located at number 28 Foster Road, Sangre Grande. They also specialize in real estate, and they also have a special on land at Arena Road, Freeport, for just $165,000 per plot. For further information, call Darpan Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited at 267-3063 or 223-0630. Darpan Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited of number 28 Foster Road, Sangre Grande.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, and roti makers. Try our high-quality unbleached bromate-free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg, and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited, 665-3336, or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
To you, Newsday Classifieds. Take Value Optical to be your partner.
I do. I do.
I now pronounce free eye test from Value Optical for Newsday Classified customers. Call the Newsday Classified reps for more information. You may now kiss the bride.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
Praise Him, praise Him.
Join me every Sunday for Love Vibrations from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. featuring all your favorite love songs from every decade and the most powerful quotes ever written. You can send your shout-outs. WhatsApp 378-4975 or you can simply call 636-7547 or 227-5739 or go online to www.975radio.com. It's hosted by yours truly, DJ Shaw, on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
I found a love for me.
Only the people can save the people. This is the mantra of the National Solidarity Assembly. Join its political leader and president of the All Trinidad General Workers Trade Union, Nirvan Maharaj, as he invites you to join these organizations and other top executives on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper for 2 one-hour monthly features as they discuss the concerns and challenges facing the working class of this country, tackling the issues, generating bold talk, finding solutions, bringing the workers' agenda to the front burner, and providing a new vehicle. That's the NSA's mission. Be part of this informative panel discussion with operatives from the NSA. Only happening here on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper.
Yes, just a gentle reminder that you can join Mr. Nirvan Maharaj tomorrow, just after the 7:30 hour, as the All Trinidad General Workers Trade Union continue to build capacity and continue to partner with us here at 975. We'll be looking at the budget and some other matters facing us here in the country. So Nirvan Maharaj will be in the studio with me tomorrow from just around 7:30. And as we look at the budget and we also look at the repercussions, the fallout as a result of the COVID-19. I just want to share this with you here this morning. It's a story published in one of the newspapers. COVID-19 has hit the local book industry very hard. And as booksellers struggle to find a way through the health and financial crisis, some of them say there is a good chance their businesses would not survive. While many booksellers have managed to cope through the first wave of the virus, it is what is to come next that has many on the edge. I remind you of that because speaking to Anil Ramjit this morning, the president of the Gasparilla Chamber, he would have said that the finance minister needed to look at areas, need to introduce measures to make the ease of business, of doing business in this country easier. More than that, it's measures which you want the minister to introduce to ensure the survivability of businesses in this country. And note that it's not the government of the day, but rather it is the private sector that drives the economy in this country. People may dispute me, but that's a fact. It's the private sector that drives businesses in this country. More than that too, one of my pet peeves this morning is town and country planning, and it's about time that the Minister of Planning and Development, Camille Robinson Regis, look in this direction. That is to make it easier for contractors, for people who want to get involved in the construction sector, thereby creating job opportunities, to look at getting their applications, the documentation before Town and Country Planning Division to speed up the process. Because I find it very let's say, difficult to understand or appreciate why it would take a simple document as the plan for a house to be approved or any matters before Town and Country to take 9 months, sometime to a year. Something has to be wrong here. Something has to be wrong. If it is resources, in terms of human resources, well then do so. Address the concern, address the issue, because this is one way that we can get the economy back up and running again. The Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, on the political platform would have spoke about agriculture, the trust in agriculture, and to get people more and more involved in agriculture. I am saying that greater initiative ought to be introduced. And when one talk about agriculture, I'm not talking here about agriculture in terms of actually getting down on your hands and knees and so on. I'm talking about technology in agriculture, machinery, making it easier for farmers who want to get involved in the sector, making it much easier for them, create the necessary avenue and the infrastructure. But at the same time, while you do that, one has to look at the predial larceny, because a number of people would have gone into agriculture, and predial larceny is a problem in this country. So it's something which we need to look at very seriously indeed. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello. Well, I'm sorry to miss your call. You need to call us back at 636-7547 and 227-5739. Note that we are also live on YouTube at RCL U975, and you can also get us at WhatsApp at 378-4975. Well, yesterday too, I listened to the Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, and he was touching on the point of domestic violence in this country. And certainly there is an upswing of domestic violence, or rather incidents of domestic violence in Trinidad and Tobago. How do we address this? Well, first of all, let me state here emphatically, and who vexed laws. In order for police to act in cases of domestic violence, there must be a report. If there are no reports, police officers cannot act. And I agree with the Commissioner of Police that if in your own little area, in your own little community, or even in your own family circle that is, you see people behaving in a particular way, and you are witness to incidents of violence against elderly, violence against children, violence against women, well then you need to step in, make a call, make a report. That's the only way that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service will be able to intervene. Unless there is a report, the police officers cannot act. So be the eyes and ears of people in your community. I'm not telling you to be a macro, I'm not saying that. But if you observe any level of domestic violence, it is important as a responsible citizen to report it to the authorities. In this respect, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. That's all I'm saying to you here this morning. As we head up, it's just about 24 minutes here to the past the hour of 8 o'clock. And that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Radio 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Let's take a very short commercial break. And when we come back, we'll continue with our discussion. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us here.
Gosh, boy, I can't wait to go home now.
Stuck in traffic again, Hare Babri.
Well, guess what? Your day is about to get hotter than ever in the afternoon. It's the new afternoon drive time program on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Tune in Monday to Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. with yours truly, the DJ Flavia Experience. Let's make it hotter than ever in the afternoon. Great music, great info, and great vibes. Hotter than ever in the afternoon. Monday to Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is now on Facebook. Like us, follow and share our page. We'll be sharing the latest news, tips and much more. You can also view what's happening in our studio. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel at RCL U975.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Can't go anywhere to enjoy yourself? Well, join us on 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio, as we got your Saturdays covered. The party starts from 8 a.m. Yes, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. We got Sharon Baruch alongside DJ Vishal. 12 to 3 p.m. Captain Kendall is in full flight and will take you straight into 3 to 6 as DJ Anil will put you into the mix. Then from 6 to 9, the man DJ Sean, half man, half amazing, takes the spotlight from 6 to 9. And from 9 to 1, the man Corky D steps into the building and he will mix it up for you into the morning. Tune in, log on 975radio.com as we put you in the party mood with all of our DJs and announcers. Tell your friends, tell your family, 975radio.com.
नबियों के सरदार मोहम्मद नबियों के सरदार
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and the blessings of Almighty Allah be upon each and every one of you. My name is Shazad Ali, and here's an invitation to join me every weekday morning, 5 o'clock, for the program Teachings of Islam, right here on U97.5 FM. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Well, with me on the line now is Kiran Singh, who is the president of the Greater San Fernando Chamber. I want to get his thoughts on the 2020-2021 budget. Good morning, Mr. Singh, and thanks for taking our call this morning. Good morning to you.
Morning, Kenrick, and morning to Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, certainly a challenging period for Trinidad and Tobago, and more so even a greater headache for Finance Minister Colm Imber to balance the books going forward with this 2020-2021 budget. And I would have spoken to a number of people, stakeholders indeed, concerning this package. A number of them would have expressed their concerns about the way business is conducted in Trinidad and Tobago. And to this end, they are calling on the minister to make it easier for business people to conduct their affairs going forward. Your thoughts on the 2020 budget, 2021 budget? Your thoughts?
Well, Kenrick, as your last point on making business procedures easier, we would certainly want to see some mechanisms put in place by the Minister of Finance as to how we will go up the rankings of the ease of doing business. We have fallen way down the ladder. We are almost at the bottom of the scale in terms of attracting business, attracting foreign direct investment into the country. We need this more now than ever before, given the fact that we have suffered directly and indirectly from the fall in global energy prices. This has dampened demand for that. We have also seen that locally, where production of oil and gas has been reduced substantially. We heard the recent announcement that BP is going to lay off approximately 25% of their labor force internationally, which will impact on Trinidad and Tobago as well. So I don't think anybody would have wanted any Minister of Finance's shoes at this point in time, because obviously he's going to have to run a deficit budget. And the majority of the budget is focused on transfers and subsidies, salaries and wages. So there's very little room for capital expenditure. So it will mean that he will have to pick up the funds from another source, because the revenue is not being generated through the GDP or GNP. And where is he going to get this money from?
Well, there are two areas of concerns here where the minister could raise necessary revenue. One, increase in taxation, and two, depend to the Heritage and Stabilization Fund. Your thoughts?
Right. So what we have been saying as a chamber is that the Heritage and Stabilization Fund was created and designed and developed for the so-called rainy day. And right now, I think we're in a thunderstorm.
Yeah, quite true.
Because we have no funds coming in, we have no income being generated, so that the business community would not want to see increased taxes. We're already at our wit's end to pay our current expenses. Increasing the taxes is not the way to increase business entrepreneurial confidence at this point in time, but I certainly would think that this is the time that we have to dip into the HSF, as much as we wouldn't want to, but that is what it was created for, and if that is what we have to do to keep the economy afloat and to stay away from the IMF and potential devaluation of the dollar, I don't think we have any much choice but to tap into the HSF until the economy rebounds and we get out of this COVID virus, which continues to languish the economy in no uncertain terms.
All right, two other areas of concern here, Mr. Singh, is one, and I would have spoken to one of your colleagues this morning, Anil Ramjit, operating out of the Gasparilla chamber, and he was making the point that the startup of the Petrotrin refinery is critical to creating jobs and increasing revenue. Your thoughts?
It is. Since the shutdown of Petrotrin, it affected literally thousands of jobs directly within the confines of the refinery, and then the downstream industries that depended heavily on the operation of the refinery would have idle equipment, have to lay off staff, rotate staff, reduce salaries, and this has impacted the southern economy in a unfortunately negative way. But we have heard of the government speaking during their first term, post 2015, about the Labre dry dock shipping facility, which has not gotten off the ground, unfortunately, and we would have hoped that the budget could address this, because this will take up a lot of the slack unemployment, and it could be a net foreign exchange earner for the entire country. Because of our geographical location, it is almost perfect for the maritime lines to pass through Trinidad waters to get their vessels serviced. And this could, once we get the right capital expenditure through some public-private international partnership, we could get that off the ground without the government having to utilize the funds which they don't have.
All right. Kiran, you would have spoken sometime, or rather, a story was published quoting you, where you would have said that over 25% of businesses in and around the San Fernando environment would have suffered as a result of COVID-19. What are some of the measures you are hoping that the government of the day, more so the finance minister, could introduce or ought to introduce to ensure business, and this is the term I'm using, business survivability?
We would ask for some deferral in terms of the utility rates, in particular Tiantec. That is the largest chunk of the expenditure items on your profit and loss statement. We have not gotten any consideration with Tiantec from the initial lockdown when the virus hit us. We would look at, I know the Minister of Finance is not a fan of reducing taxes, but the business fund, the business levy and green fund levy, we could look at reducing that temporarily. I know there are some schools of thought that are talking about increasing the VAT and stabilizing the corporation and personal income tax. But that may not augur well for us, because that would mean somewhat of an increase for certain sectors of the population, which we cannot afford to have increased expenditure at this time. But what we need to do is the government needs to work with the private sector. We all know that the SME sector is the largest contributor of employment in the country after the government, and we need to find mechanisms when we sit around our roundtable discussion and see how we can sustain, as you rightly said, the viability of business going forward, because we're really in dire straits.
Well, you talk about survivability and you talk about discussion, and the minister would have announced that September 28th is a day set aside to have consultation with all stakeholders. Will you be part of that conversation, Mr. Singh?
Well, we hope to be, certainly. We have already developed a position paper on that we will be submitting to the ministry in the coming days to see that we can get some sort of hearings and discussions going into the budget proposal for the next financial year, 2020-2021. because we all have to survive this together, and that's the only way we could move forward.
All right.
We have no tourism sector. The agricultural sector needs to be re-incentivized. The Prime Minister did make an announcement that additional $500 million would be injected into that sector within the short term. So we look forward to that increase in productivity in that sector, and that will also bring in foreign exchange.
In putting together this package to deal with the budget 2020-2021, have you met with your membership? And if so, what are some of their concerns? What are some of the measures that they are hoping that could be introduced?
Well, as mentioned previously, we're looking at the utility rates to be adjusted, the tax rates to not be interfered with. I heard about property tax. We really hope that that is not on the table for this coming financial year. Because that will automatically increase the expenditures. Tenants are not in a position to pay any increase in rents. In fact, rents across the board have been reduced. We still have mortgages to pay, loans. We would have hoped that the banking sector would have reduced their interest rates on the mortgages and loans to the SME sector, because we need assistance from everyone to survive, and we need to reduce the expenditure. The banks continue to make profits. And it's somewhat surprising that in a global downturn of the global economy, that we don't have any banks suffering financially. So it's a bit surprising and strange that every part of the private sector is languishing, and somehow the banking sector continues to make profits year after year, regardless of whether we're in a recession or depression. And whereas the banking sector depends on the business sector and the private sector for their business. But when we need the banks for their service and their cooperation in reducing our rates, they're not there. When they reduce the credit card, as an example, by 3 percentage points, that is not even a drop in the bucket. That makes no sense when the interest rate is 24%. That doesn't help the businessman whatsoever. And the bank tell you can't get foreign exchange, use your credit card. But the credit card, you go to some international companies and they will not accept your credit card because it is issued from Trinidad and Tobago. So how are you supposed to, as an international businessman, conduct business when you can't get foreign exchange in your local bank and you're unable to use your credit card? So we're like a ship in the sea without a sail or a paddle.
All right.
How are we going to survive?
But you're talking about survivability, and let's look at what is happening now, especially with consumers. There's a school of thought which is saying that maybe the minister should look at removing VAT on basic food items and also increasing the minimum wage. Your thoughts?
Well, we would not want to look at increasing the minimum wage right now, because that would certainly affect the gas stations. Immediately that would impact upon them, because the gas stations, their margins are extremely low. If they were to increase the margin, then we would have to self-pump gas. That would increase the unemployment, because the gas stations would not be able to employ individuals at a higher minimum wage right now.
All right.
I don't think we could take that right now.
And the removal of VAT on basic food items.
Well, of course we would want that, but I know that the Minister of Finance is going to say how he's going to pay his bills, and that the VAT would have to be retained. But what we're asking for is to remove the VAT on which he did for the computers and laptops and so on.
Yes.
That also be removed for cell phones. Not everybody would be able to afford a laptop, especially for the school children. And in this age of where we hear about the digitization of the economy, we think that's a step in the right direction. But we need to spread the internet countrywide, nationally, so that Wi-Fi is accessible to everyone, so that we can educate the youths, because the only way to get schooling right now is through these devices.
All right.
And if you don't have that, then we're not going to go forward.
Mr. Singh, would you support a call to provide, let's say, subsidies for struggling businesses?
Of course, yes. That's also on the agenda. We know that they had offered salary relief grants, rent relief, income relief, and so on during the initial lockdown. And we are pleading with the minister to continue these initiatives. For the micro-enterprise sector, there was also a grant, small grant relief that was supposed to be given to those individuals of a cap of below 50,000, I believe, We would want to see that addressed in the budget as well, because that would, so the pie man, the nuts man, the doubles man on the street could find some level of surviving the next few months.
All right, Mr. Singh, I know you have a very busy schedule ahead of you, and I want to thank you very much for taking the time off to chat with us this morning. All the best to you, my friend, and stay safe.
Always a pleasure, Kenrick, and good luck to TKR this morning.
Yes. Yeah, I know that you're a cricket fan. Yes, the Trinbago Knight Riders will be coming up against the St. Lucia Zooks in just a little more than an hour. Little more than an hour time down at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. That's the voice there of Kiran Singh, who is the president of the Greater San Fernando Chamber. As we talk about Budget 2020-2021. Certainly, as I said, a headache for Finance Minister Colm Imbert. Mr. Singh would have outlined a number of initiatives, a number of measures which he would like to see the minister address. 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. We just about 19 minutes here to the hour of 9 o'clock, and that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Radio 975. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Tim.
Good morning to you, Chris.
We're talking about finance.
Mm-hmm.
Where was the government get money from?
Mm-hmm.
Money saved is money earned.
Mm-hmm.
We know that we spend money as though money have no value. You take situation at Wassa right now, and overstaffed, and the amount of water wasted, not being used, that they don't have proper management. You have people who have connections who are not paying. You have people who owe taxes who are not paying. You have people who have T&Tech connection not paying. Mismanagement, overspending, corruption. If the government should sit down and do a little introspection and see how they could have saved their money, how they could ensure proper service for the money they spend, and cut down on the wastage, we have enough money in this country now. We have plenty enough money in this country. But so much wastage take place on the ministry, come right down. Look, we have a president. What is the role of the president?
And she receives a salary of over $60,000 a month.
And her, she
plus
she
perks,
travel allowance for the year?
Plus perks.
Over $1 million doesn't travel for the year, you know.
Mm-hmm.
To do what? To sign papers and what you have to sign? You see, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about, this wastage in this country. We find ways to waste money. Look what is going to happen here. I'm betting this country, by the end of the year, you'll see with all the people who lose their jobs, the government will say, we have increased employment. You know the magic in that? Let me tell you the magic in that. You see this thing they have now, they're going to start national, whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
All these young people, they're going to have them as employed. And every cycle you become involved in is a new employee. So one person coming this cycle 5 times, there is 5 new employment opportunities, 5 new people. So at the end of the year, do not be surprised. Remember what Chris said you. You have more people employed than people who lose their jobs. That is the magic of TRW. Thank you.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you very much for your contribution with us here this morning. As we continue with our discussion, we're moving up to the hour of 9 o'clock. There's about 16 minutes here to the hour of 9. And that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Radio 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Let's go to some commercials here this morning. And when I come back, we'll continue. Stay with us.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Darpon Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited for all your grocery items, wholesale and retail. At Darpon, you can also transfer money, pay your bills, and also cash your social welfare checks. Darpon Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited, located at number 28 Foster Road, Sangre Grande. They also specialize in real estate, and they also have a special on land at Arena Road, Freeport, for just $165,000 per plot. For further information, call Darban Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited at 267-3063 or 223-0630. Darban Trading Supermarket and Investments Limited of number 28 Foster Road, Sangre Grande.
Gosh, boy, I can't wait to go home.
Stuck in traffic again, Hare Babri.
Well, guess what? Your day is about to get hotter than ever in the afternoon. It's the new afternoon drive time program on You 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Tune in Monday to Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. with yours truly, the DJ Flavia Experience. Let's make it hotter than ever in the afternoon. Great music, great info, and great vibes. Hotter than ever in the afternoon. Monday to Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. on You 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia, for all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters, and water pumps, plus all parts for Gould, Pentax, and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BT Sino, Leviton, and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia.
Yes, indeed, and thank you very much for staying with us here at 97.5. Let's thank all our corporate sponsors, all of our clients who are now part of the 975 Hot Like Pepper family. Thank you very much for partnering with us here. And as I said to you before, if you have any goods, product, or services which you need to advertise and market, then you need to contact us here at 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. You can call our marketing department at 720-5858 or simply call me at 731-4382. And I'm sure we can work out a comprehensive package for you. Yeah, 975 FM Hot Like Pepper, reaching out to you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. On that note, folks, let me say my final goodbye for the day and invite you to join me again tomorrow just after the 6 o'clock hour as we continue to look at the issues of the day, the matters facing us here in this country. Tomorrow, I'll be hosting the President General of the All Trinidad General Workers Trade Union, Mr. Nirvan Maraj, from just around 7:30 as they continue to build capacity with us here at 975. Note that at the top of the hour, you can join the Bees Hi-Fi, who will be taking you until the hour of 12 noon today with some wonderful, beautiful music right here from our studio in Couva in central Trinidad. So whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, take 975 FM Hot Like Pepper with you. We'll keep you thoroughly entertained and informed. And just note that if you do have to venture outside, people, please mask up. It's the law. Observe social distancing. Sanitize yourself as often as you can. Yes, it's one of the ways, or it's some of the ways whereby we can defeat this quote-unquote invisible enemy. According to the Minister of Health, Terence Dial Singh, we are in World War, so we need to be very, very conscious of the challenges in front of us. Be safe, people. Take care of yourself. I am Kenrick Juggernaut, inviting you to join me again tomorrow, just after the 6 o'clock hour. And yeah, before I go, let's wish our boys, the Trinbago Knight Riders, all the best as they come up against the St. Lucia Zooks in this crucial final, the Caribbean Premier League, down at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Let's hope that the weather holds and we can have a very interesting game indeed. So all the best to Kyron Pollard, Dwayne Bravo, Darren Bravo, Sunil Narayan, Lendl Simmons, and the rest of the players representing Trinidad and Tobago, the Trinbago Knight Riders. Take care, people. I'm out of here. But before I go, I want to leave you with this.